What's up, you guys? This is Bridgette B, and welcome to a brand new episode of The Dirty Blonde. Just in time for Valentine's Day weekend, I thought, why not share with you my top 5 sexiest movies to watch to get you in the mood and get you feeling just right for Valentine's Day. Whether you're spending it alone, tucked in bed, watching a movie with your dog, or you have a partner who's going to take you out to Paris, or whether you're with your friends saying, you know what, fuck Valentine's Day, it is just another day, I got you. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a cocktail, and join me as we dig into the top 5 sexiest pics, porn star edition. Stay tuned. Good cocktail. So, listen, no matter who you are, Valentine's Day is for some reason like a sore subject for so many. I, for one, never really gave a fuck. But then again, I didn't lose my virginity till I was about 20. Then I was practically engaged. And then I was just all over campus. And then the relationships after. Valentine's Day has never been quite as romantic as people assume it would be for someone not like me, but maybe in my line of work or maybe my career choice. A lot of people assume that there were just men lined up waiting, and that just hasn't been the case. In my private life, I've tended to really appreciate every single day, not just Valentine's Day. And maybe 1 or 2 people that I was dating took an extra step. I remember one guy sent me 1,000 roses, and another one took me to Palm Springs, and it was my first time there, so that was great. But the whole time I'm thinking, you know, I'd rather just sit down on the couch, some Taco Bell, and watch a movie, because that's just the kind of girl I am, contrary to popular belief. So because of that, I'm thinking, well, let me share with you, in my entire history of watching movies, what has been my top 5 that has really just gotten me in the mood and just gotten me to feel really good about Valentine's Day, even though I was alone, or maybe I had someone and I just didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Are my 5 choices. Well, let's start with number 5. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I have my notes here, so let me take out my handy dandy. By the way, I'm very old school, as we might know if you follow me on Instagram, and I write everything down, so I want to make sure I got all the right info for you. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a romantic action film released in 2005. Can you believe that? It was a long time ago. Starring Brad Pitt and the ever so sexy Angelina Jolie as Mr. John and Jane Smith. Now, basically, without telling you the story, is a couple. They had no idea about each other, and let's just say a lot happens during the film that just makes you wonder, do you really know your partner when you're with them? Doesn't it make you... Now, I'm not going to spoil it if you've seen it, but for the majority of you, I'm sure you've seen it. But if you haven't, definitely my number 5 pick. In one of those situations where the 2 main stars fall in love with each other and you know about it behind the scenes, it adds an extra element and a layer of realism. You know what I mean? So when I'm watching the movie, I'm trying to catch those sexy glimpses of Brad Pitt looking at Angelina Jolie and thinking, oh, is that the moment he fell in love with her? Or the way she, you know, would dance towards him when they were in Colombia during the beginning of the movie. If you know what scene I'm talking about, it's just so sexy, the way she just dances up on him. And I just know that at some point they fell in love during this movie, as we all know. So because of that, I definitely recommend as my number 5. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Number 4, the ever so sexy Blake Lively in the ever so sexy Savages. So in this movie, it's an Oliver Stone movie from 2012, and it stars Salma Hayek, Benicio del Toro, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Taylor Kitsch, and of course Blake Lively. Two potheads in Laguna Beach kind of have a unique, one-of-a-kind love affair with O, who's played by Blake Lively, and Salma Hayek is part of the cartel in Mexico, and she wants a piece of the action. So with help of Mr. John Travolta and a very shady DEA he is, a lot happens, and again, not to spoil the film, you just have to watch and see. But what makes Savages such a sexy movie for me? Three-way with Blake Lively, I mean, come on now. And in that particular scene, so steamy, so sexy. And then there's the layer of the unique kind of love that they had for each other. Something about this story that develops, whether you believe in three-ways, whether you believe in menage a trois, whether you really believe in polyamorous, whatever your stances are on that, to each their own. But in this particular movie, I think Oliver Stone did a really good job in giving this relationship that vulnerable, romantic effect while also maintaining the sexiness of fantasy. So, something you haven't seen, I also highly recommend it. And if you have seen it, comment down below and let us know just how sexy you think this movie was, because I need a sip, because Blake Lively is one of my favorites. My next choice in the sexy film to watch over Valentine's Day weekend, it's Vicky, Cristina, Barcelona. This 2008 Woody Allen film is definitely one to not be missed. What makes it so exciting and sexy to watch gives you a glimpse into a world that Woody Allen can only create. Rebecca Hall plays Vicky, Scarlett Johansson plays Cristina, and our very sexy Javier Bardem. They are just reveling in the world that is art and sex and steamy love affairs. And when Penelope Cruz enters the mix, a whole nother set of problems occur. Again, not gonna ruin it for you if you haven't watched it. And it's not one of those movies like Mr. and Mrs. Smith that has been extremely popular, but when you watch it, I suggest you take a beat and you have an open mind, because in the world that is love and sex and art and wanting to get married, wanting to be alone, having an ex come in and ruin everything because they're crazy, we can all relate to little snips of this movie. And if you can relate to the whole movie, then good for you. So if you find yourself on the couch and wanting to impress your date on a sophisticated taste that you might have, I highly recommend Vicky, Cristina, Barcelona. Now we narrow it to the last two choices. What could Bridgette B possibly have in mind? Well, for my second to last choice, the ever so sexy teen drama that takes place in New York City. Cruel Intentions is a 1999 teen romantic drama starring Sarah Michelle Gellar, Selma Blair, Reese Witherspoon, and Ryan Phillippe. It's actually an adaptation of a 1782 Les Lions Dangereux. Dangereux? I'm not French, so don't quote me. It's a modernized version of that, and it's just about some wealthy fucking kids in New York City that just have the world at their feet and just fuck it up. I mean, if you've seen this movie, Selma Blair did such a good job of playing the dumbass, but that scene under the tree, and I don't care if I'm giving you guys a little too much information if you haven't seen it, but I can't imagine anyone having not seen this movie. But for this new generation coming up of 18 and over, I suggest you take this movie also with a beat of holy shit, Selma Blair and Sarah Michelle Gellar in a very romantic moment slash sexy slash we all wish we were one of them. I can't imagine having this movie being done any other way and with any other actors. And much like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we all know Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillippe are exes. and this is the movie in which they too fell in love. So it's really fun and sexy to kind of catch those moments where at what point did Ryan fall in love, and Reese just said, oh, take me now, Ryan Phillippe. And it's nostalgic for me because obviously watching this movie while I was in college and wanting to be Sarah Michelle Gellar but not having the finances to be on the Upper East Side, let me use my imagination quite a bit, and man, it's just one of those that you can't miss. So cheers to you, Cruel Intentions. Now, dun 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 dun, drum roll please. Somewhere, someone? I'll do it myself. And now for my last pick of the sexiest movie to watch this Valentine's Day weekend, whether you're alone or with a partner or with a group of friends, Unfaithful, starring Richard Gere, Diane Lane, and Olivier Martinez. This is an erotic thriller that is solely based on the #1 guilt. The guilt of being so sinful in your ways of cheating, and in your ways of desire, and in your ways of rage, and in your ways of just pure ecstasy and just pure love. These sex scenes between Olivier and Diane Lane are just top notch. Some of them, you know how Hollywood could be. Sometimes it could be a little corny, but Unfaithful does a really good job of making really sensual and making Richard Gere sort of not only a vulnerable husband, but it just makes you wonder about your past relationships, and maybe it might make you just take a look at who you're sitting next to, like, what have you been doing on Saturday night? But either way, I hope not. Unfaithful is just a overall sexy erotic thriller and one I recommend, and I think that if you haven't seen it, I would put it on my top 5, and hopefully it will be for you. Let me know in the comments if you saw it and what you think. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my top 5 picks as to what I recommend for you this Valentine's Day weekend. Now, if you haven't yet, make sure and follow on Instagram at thisisbridgette. All links are down below in the description. And as an added bonus, make sure and you stay tuned on Monday at my OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Bridgette, where I will give you my top 5 porn pics. Yep, I'm going to get naughtier because you can't do it on YouTube. But slide over there on Monday and check it out on the description below. You'll have all the details, and I'll tell you my top 5 adult industry favorites and picks to get you in the mood this Valentine's Day weekend. Hey, maybe you can put it on as your background sound and your background music. Well, thank you so much for tuning in this week. I hope this puts you in the mood. And remember, it doesn't matter if you're gonna be alone, if you're gonna be with a partner, or if you're gonna be with friends. As long as you love yourself, that is all that fucking matters. Stay dirty. Till next time, bye.